Here in our newsroom, we are so excited to have comedian, author, health advocate, actress, Sherri Shepherd. Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And then also we have with her, we have American Heart Association volunteer, medical expert, nationally recognized cardiologist, and also an author. Great to see you, Dr. Susan Steinbaum.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first, before we dive in, you guys are talking about know your numbers. I love that phrase. But I want to ask you, what made you committed to women's heart health? So Sherri, we'll start with you. Was there a personal experience that you had?
You know, I did not know that heart disease is the #1 killer amongst women, especially in the community of African American women and young women. So that took me by surprise. And that was like a big wake up call. And I got so excited to team up with the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women to learn more about how I could prevent heart disease from happening to me.
And well, that's, I know it's incredible. I mean, especially in African American women and younger women these days, it's incredible. And then
Yes.
Dr. Steinbaum, about from what I last read, 1 in every 5 women die of heart disease every year.
It's really amazing to look at the statistics. It's 1 in 3 women, and
1 in 3
heart
women.
disease is and it's the #1 killer of all women, more than all cancers combined. Now, as scary as that sounds, the flip side of that is that 80% of the time it is preventable, and it is about knowing those numbers and knowing your risk factors. Those numbers include cholesterol and HDL, the good cholesterol, the blood pressure, blood sugar, and body mass index. And these numbers are associated with the major risk factors that lead to heart disease. So first step is knowing your risk and getting these numbers checked.
Right, right. And you mentioned that, right, we want to know our numbers, but we also know that this is, as you mentioned, it's 80% preventable. And being aware of our numbers is probably the first step, but then also taking action. So we know physical activity, and then we also know having a healthy diet. But what are the other things that contribute to these numbers?
Being sedentary is one of the huge issues. And I think this weight gain thing that happened during COVID, the average weight gain was 29 pounds. That leads to high cholesterol and high blood pressures and high sugars. And the other thing I really want to mention is stress. Stress is a major issue that so many people have been dealing with, and it actually is associated with an increased incidence of heart disease.
Wow. I mean, things that people wouldn't even think of, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
so interesting, stress related. But Sherri, what made you how did you change your lifestyle in terms of when you found out maybe these numbers weren't exactly what you wanted them to be?
You know, it was during the pandemic. Literally, I understand what Dr. Steinbaum was talking about stress, because we weren't designed to be around our kids 24/7. And online schooling was stressing me out. How my son failed gym class when he was right next door to me is beyond me. I was stressing. So I gained weight, and I said, I want to live. I want to feel good. So I had to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet, put down the salt, put down the sugar. I started roller skating because I couldn't get to the gym. I started doing salsa dancing. Bought a bike for my birthday and started bike riding with my son. So all of that just contributed to better health. I started trying to get more sleep. So I feel so good. And my doctor took my numbers because I was a type 2 diabetic. And she said I wasn't a diabetic anymore. So I lost diabetes in the middle of salsa dancing. I feel good. And I feel like I can do more, help my son, help my friends, because my health is even better.
That is so wonderful. Because I got to tell you, Sherri, my mom said this my mom takes care of herself. She's in great shape. She's older, in her 60s. And she said, Mary, I just made a commitment that I'm going to come out better during this pandemic. And it sounds like you really
Yes.
did the same thing. And it's been difficult for everyone, but making that decision was really important. And wow, really turned your health around. And middle salsa dancing, took that insulin, or took that blood test, and was like, no more diabetic. That's so funny. That's great. Well, congratulations on that. Such a wonderful thing. What are your plans moving forward? Keeping this up?
Most definitely. I think women, we tend to put ourselves last, but when you put yourself first, you can do so much more for other people and for your family and feel good about doing it. So if you want more information about what we were talking about, you can go to goredforwomen.org or cvshealth.com/gored. You're not going to regret it.
No,
And
not
you
at
know
all.
what?
Go ahead.
This week, this know your numbers thing, we have to make that go viral because every day this week, CVS Health is offering no cost screenings at more than 1,100 minute clinics nationwide at CVS. We've got to do this and we've got to do this together and get the word out. Because knowing your numbers and preventing heart disease really is so critical for all of us.
Oh, well, we will do our best to make this go viral. I mean, and it's women's heart health, but it's all year round. And my nanny used to say, if you don't have, she was a nurse, she used to say, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And for all those women, this is for the two of you, all those women who are busy juggling. I mean, you two are authors, you have a practice, you're producing and acting. And what was your message to them to just get that hour, let's say, or have that in the front of their mind that we really need to do this?
You know, I say when you get up in the morning, instead of reaching for the phone and looking at your Instagram, lay there and meditate. Take a breath. Think about all of the blessings. Just, just breathe. Get your girlfriends to go walking with you. When you do it alone, it's a little bit harder, but if you incorporate your friendships into it, it's so much easier. And then you're helping each other. You can't do this alone.
Social support, and
Yes.
then further bond helps you keep going together, right? In good company. Coffee and a walk is always my favorite thing. All right, Dr. Steinbaum, same thing. Busy, having patience, and what would you say? Writing books.
Health is everything, and without your health, you have nothing, and you can do nothing. And I believe that we all have too much to offer. We're all here for a purpose. We're all here for living our lives for a reason, and you can't do that unless you're feeling good. So it's not just one more thing to add to the list to exercise. It's the one thing that is absolutely a necessity in order to live the life that all of us deserve.
Oh, girl, you better preach.
Well, I want to say that you're right. Everybody has a special contribution to this world. Okay. And if we have our health, we put it first, we can live longer and really have the mental capacity and physical capacity to just get out there and contribute our special gifts. And then, oh my gosh, that like melted my heart. Oh, my heart. No. Sorry. That was like,
it's so true.
Pun intended. You guys, thank you so much. Any last words you want to say about this?
Got to get the word out. I think that that's really part of why we're here. It's about getting the message out. 80% of the time, heart disease is preventable. Put yourself on the top of the list for a change and take care of yourself.
Wonderful.
And then you can take care of everybody else. When you take care of yourself, you can do it for everybody else.
Wow. Such an important message. Thank you both. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.